Great Smoky Mountains National Park just started a new parking fee program. So if you are visiting this park in 2023, you need a parking tag. Let's talk you through the process. My name is Ash. I'm a former park ranger and the founder of Dirt in My Shoes. And today I want to talk you through the new parking tag program for Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Great Smoky Mountains National Park is actually the most visited national park in America, with over 14 million visitors per year. 14 million! So there's a ton of people coming through here. It's a really popular and busy park. And historically, they haven't actually ever gathered entrance fees. They haven't had any way to bring in that money from all these people coming through. And starting this year, 2023, they now have a program to do that so that they can gather money that can then go back to the park and help with things like trail conditions, hiring new staff to protect the resources, making sure that there's enough law enforcement rangers for that many people who are coming through. So it's a really good thing that we are now collecting some money for this park so that they can continue to take care of this beautiful place. Let's look at a map of Great Smoky Mountains really fast. So this is the park here. We have the town of Gatlinburg up here, which is the main way into the park. You've got Townsend over here, which is a smaller town, the quieter side of this main part of the Smokies. And then you've got Cherokee down here, which is the North Carolina side of the Smokies. And then Great Smoky Mountains is huge. It goes all the way through here. So what has happened is when Great Smoky Mountains National Park was made a national park, there was a law in place that said that they could not collect any type of fees along this road here, this main road through the park. So this is the Newfound Gap Road or Highway 441. This is the road that they have not been able to collect fees on for a very long time. So now what they're doing is instead of collecting an entrance fee, which they are not able to do, they are charging for parking. This is a way around that restriction so that the park can still gather some type of fee and use that fee to better maintain and preserve this park. So it is really important. I am excited that they're doing this just because there are so many people that come through the Smokies every year. And so this park could really use the boost in funds. So looking at the map, if you are anywhere within Great Smoky Mountains National Park, even if you're not along this main road, if you're over here near Cades Cove, if you are on one of these side entrances like Cataloochee or Big Creek or Abrams Creek, any of these, if you are going to park in Great Smoky Mountains National Park for longer than 15 minutes, then you need this parking tag. If you're just driving through, which a lot of people do commute along this Highway 441. If you're just driving through, you're not stopping, you just need to use this road to get from here to there, then you don't need this parking tag. It is just if you plan on stopping for longer than 15 minutes. That also goes for, anywhere in the park. If you're just not planning on stopping at all, if you just want to drive through it and you just want to see the views from your car, then you don't need this parking tag. If you're driving the Foothills Parkway over here and you're just going to stop for a couple minutes to get out, see the view, get back in, keep driving, then you don't need this parking tag. But basically, if you're wanting to do anything in the park by way of actually getting out and spending some time exploring, such as hiking the Appalachian Trail or visiting Klingman's Dome, any of those big main things that you want to do in the park will take longer than 15 minutes, so you will want the parking tag. Okay, so I am here on the Great Smoky Mountains website. This is where they have the information for their parking tag. I just want to walk you through this so that you understand it really well. They do have a video here, but I feel like it's maybe just a little bit short for those of us that have never been to the park with this parking tag or are trying to learn the best thing to do. So I'm going to make it a little bit longer. I'm going to explain a little bit more here. So basically you have 3 different parking tag options. You have a daily option, which is $5 per day. You have a weekly or 7-day option, which is $15. And then you have an annual option, which is $40. And so if you're going to the Great Smoky Mountains for just a few days, you'll want to get that daily pass. If you'll be there for 3 or more days, then I would just buy that weekly pass. It will be the same price or cheaper, and then you won't have to purchase a pass every day. And if you are a local and you want to visit this park a lot, you find yourself here a lot, then definitely get the annual pass. That's like a decal that goes on your car, and so it will just get you in and out. You won't have to worry about purchasing a new pass every time. The main thing you'll want to note here that I think is really important is that you have to have a license plate number, a specific license plate number when you're purchasing this pass. And so whatever you put on your pass must match the license plate of your car that you'll be driving, and it's not transferable. So if you're buying an annual pass, but you have 2 different vehicles you like to drive into the park, you would need an annual pass for each vehicle. You can't take it off and move it over. But that also goes for this daily and weekly one. They will actually have you write down your license plate number. You have to submit that when you get your permit. And so you'll want to make sure that it matches the license plate of the vehicle you'll be driving, because they will be checking on that. Another thing here that you'll want to note is that digital representations will not be accepted. So it actually has to be a printed copy. You leave it on your dash on the passenger side, and you'll need to make sure that it's not in digital form. They won't accept that. It does need to be printed out and left in your car. Last thing here is if you have an annual pass for another national park, like the Interagency, the America the Beautiful, the Senior Pass, the Access Pass, any of those, the 4th graders in a parks pass, any of those, they do not count for this parking tag. So you will have to purchase the parking tag regardless of if you have another annual pass for the national parks or forests. That is because those annual passes only cover entrance fees. This is not an entrance fee, this is a parking fee. So there is a differentiation there, and you will still need your parking tag even if you have one of those annual passes. Now I want to talk you through how to actually get this parking tag, because you do have quite a few different options, and some of these I would favor over others. So let's talk you through how to get your tag. Looking at the website here, you will see that there are 4 different ways to do this. Firstly, if you are buying an annual parking tag, you can buy it here online and they will ship it to you. But this is only for the annual one. You cannot have your other ones shipped to you, and so you'll have to do that a different way. But if you are buying an annual tag and you don't want to do it in person, you just want them to ship it, then follow this link here. And I'll be sure to put the link to this page in the video description so that you can click on over and be exactly where I am, just to make it easier for you. Okay, your second option is to purchase in print. And so this is for those daily or weekly passes. You can get online on recreation.gov and you can purchase your daily or weekly pass in advance. I do recommend doing this if you can. This would be the best case scenario. That way, when you get to the park, you don't have to take time to stop in at a visitor center or a kiosk and get that pass when your day begins. I think this is really the superior way to do it. But the caveat is that you do have to have a license plate number to get this permit. And so if you're renting a car, if you're not driving your own vehicle, you don't know what vehicle you'll be in during your time at the Smokies, then you won't be able to do this online option in advance. You'll have to get it when you get there and when you actually know your license plate number. Okay, so let's go over to this recreation.gov site. I want to walk you through how to do this. You'll want to read through these, but basically you'll just get to this page, and again, I'll link this in the video description. But here are your options, so you can take a look at this and prices. You'll just want to read through all this so that you understand exactly what's going on. But then you'll click on the purchase here. Now, I think an important thing to note is you're not on a timer here. You're not trying to beat anyone else out for these parking tags. There's no cap on the parking tags, and so they're not going to sell out. You'll be able to get one for the day that you need it. That's not going to be a problem. But where a lot of people get confused is that because there is no cap on this, it's not going to limit the number of people entering the park. It's not going to make the park less busy. It's not going to guarantee you a parking spot anywhere. This is just, you have to have it if you want to park. And so it's going to still be a really busy national park. You're still going to need a plan to get through the park without the crowds. If you want any help with that, I do have an itinerary over on Dirt in My Shoes for the Great Smoky Mountains, and I can walk you through when to be where in this park so that you're not just stuck in crowds all day and so that you're able to get a parking spot. Okay, so you'll want to read through all of this. This basically covers what I have already told you, but let's go for the daily tag. I'm going to put in all this information. Now I'm going to pick my start date. And let's say we're going to be, okay, one thing to note, it says unavailable here for the 22nd. This is a fee-free day, so you don't need a parking tag on this day. They are honoring those fee-free days. So if you see any of that, that's why it's blocked out. You won't need one for that day, but you will need one for any other day. So let's say I'm going in the summer. You can make these 6 months in advance. So you might see some not released. That just means that we haven't reached that 6 months in advance mark yet. And so you'll just need to come back 6 months in advance if you are visiting a date that says not released. Okay, let's go in July. Let's do the 12th. Since this is a daily pass, it's just going to be the same for the start date and the valid through. And then personal vehicle is your only option. It doesn't matter what vehicle you're driving. If you're driving a van, if you're driving a 15-passenger vehicle, if you're driving a motorcycle, if you're in a regular car, doesn't matter. And then I'm just going to put in a license plate number here because I'm not actually going to finish this out. So again, read through this and check the box, and then you will add to cart. At which point you will see that is $5 in my cart, and then I can go ahead and just proceed to payment and check out. And then I would just double check, make sure that this start date is correct. Your pass will be valid starting on this date and then expiring at 11:59 p.m. of that date. So if I'm going to the park for 2 or 3 days, then this is the process that I would use. And if you need another day, then you can just go back to this page and push continue shopping. It will take you to the very beginning. So at which point I would do Great Smoky Mountains. You can click National Park, or you can just see the parking tag right there. So I'm going to do that. It'll take you back to the beginning. And then last time we did our 1 day. And then you would just choose the next day. So last time we did July 12th. So today I would do July 13th. But I don't want to do that one this time. Let's do a weekly pass. Okay, so then we are doing our start date. Let's say we're going in June. So my start date is going to be the 19th, and then it will say it's valid through the 25th. And again, this starts exactly at midnight on this date, and it expires at 11:59 p.m. on this date. So I'll just do that. Be sure to put in a real license plate number. They will check that. Okay, so I have my weekly tag here. I have my 1 day parking tag here. That's how you would do that if you're hoping to get these in advance. Basically what you'll do is after you proceed to payment and you put in your credit card information, then they will send you an email. They'll send you a receipt email, but they'll also send you an email that has the actual parking tag on it. That's the one that you'll need to print out and take with you to the park. Okay, so again, that is the process that I would go through first. That would be my first choice because the lines to get these parking tags will be pretty long, especially if you go to a visitor center in the park. You will have to take time out of your sightseeing to go and stop and purchase this parking tag, which isn't the end of the world, but if you can do anything to be prepared before you go and then just be ready to sightsee is what I typically prefer. So if you're not able to do this in advance, if you don't have your license plate number, if you're renting a car and you need to wait until you get to the park to get that license plate, then you will do the next one. Okay, so looking here, you have 2 more options here. There's in-person sales locations. And so you'll see here, there's several places in Gatlinburg. These visitor centers are all in the park here. This is in Bryson City, which you look down here, Bryson City is down here on the North Carolina side. So you can stop in Gatlinburg here You can go Bryson City here, or you can go to any of these visitor centers in the park as you're going around. If you decide to do it this way, then you will be limited by the hours of this location, and so you'll want to keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that if you get to the park, say the night before, and you're ready to go sightseeing the next day, you need to wait until the actual day that you're going into the park to purchase these, because if you purchase your parking tag the night before at one of these in-person locations, then your parking tag would only be good for that day or that night before, and it would expire at 11:59 p.m. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky. You would need to purchase this parking tag in person on the exact day that you want to use it. You can't do it any amount of time in advance. A good alternative to these in-person locations is these automated fee machines. They haven't yet put where these automated fee machines will be, but probably by the time that you're ready to start getting your parking tag, they will have some options listed here. And so my guess is a lot of these automated fee machines will be either at these in-person sales locations or at some of the most popular parts of the park, such as like Clingman's Dome or Cades Cove, places like that. So that's a good option because these automated fee machines you can use at any time. You don't have to be there at specific times of day. But again, like the in-person option, you can't go the night before and buy a daily pass in preparation for the next day because your pass would expire that night. And so keep that in mind. Again, you'll need to purchase this pass on the day that you actually plan on going into the Smokies and sightseeing. Now, truthfully, if it were me, I would probably just purchase the weekly pass, even if I'm not going to be there for a week, even if I was just going to be there for a couple of days, because you only have to purchase it once and then you can display it all week. You don't have to worry about going back in and repurchasing a parking tag every morning. That is just something that I would recommend because your morning hours are really important. You want to get in there. You want to start getting parking before it gets busy. You want to start hiking the trails before they're crowded with people. And so those morning hours for me are very sacred when I'm in the national parks. And to add another to-do in the morning is just not ideal. And so if you don't mind, spending a little bit extra, even if you're only going to be in the park for 2 days, it may be worth purchasing a weekly pass. That way you can purchase it the night before if you want to, and it will just cover you for the whole time you're there. But for sure, if you're going to be there for 3 or more days, definitely purchase that weekly pass. That way you only have to go through this process once and you don't have to keep going back and trying to find somewhere to purchase a daily pass every morning. The last thing to note about this parking tag is that you do need to display it in your vehicle at all times, regardless of your vehicle, if you plan on parking for longer than 15 minutes. So you'll put it on the lower passenger side windshield. You can see some pictures here of how to do that, but you will need to display it. So even if you're in a motorcycle or anything like that, you'll have to be prepared to either tape it onto your windshield or just make sure that it sits there nicely for you, regardless of the vehicle that you're driving. Okay, so that is how you get your parking tag for Great Smoky Mountains National Park, with a few tips from me of just how I would do it. I hope that is helpful for you. If you need any help planning your trip to Great Smoky Mountains National Park, click over to Dirt in My Shoes. I have a ton of resources there for you, including a fully planned out hour-by-hour trip itinerary that will help you beat the crowds. I hope you have a great time in the Smokies, and we'll see you out on the trail.